Alright, welcome back to it. It's another Into the Base YouTube video. Okay, so today, right now it's like, it's already Friday. It's Friday morning, 12:30. I'm still up. About to do this video, but yeah, let's get into it. So, yeah, today I'm going to talk about few topics, right? I'm going to talk about Nick Diaz. That's the one topic I really want to talk about. And he could be going from a 6-year layoff to a title fight. Who knows? But we'll see what happens. So the first thing I really want to talk about is Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards is really frustrating, man. Especially as a Leon Edwards fan, this shit is really frustrating. So Leon Edwards, right? We all know he's been out for 2 years. Um, he got trapped in the UK when COVID happened, and yeah, he couldn't get a fight. So yeah, he comes back. He has a great performance against Diaz, until that last round. When he got rocked in that last round, everybody was like, "Okay, nah, Nate Diaz is ready for a title shot." Ah, fuck, my bad. Everybody said Nate Diaz was ready for a title shot. Hold up, we all good. Yeah, so like I was saying, everybody said Nate Diaz was ready for a title shot. Maybe not in those words. Okay, maybe not in those words. Maybe that's not exactly what they were saying. But all in all, that was the moment of the fight. Never mind the masterclass that Leon Edwards put on for about 20 something minutes. Just those few minutes. I think it was 1 or 2 minutes that Nate Diaz really had him hurt. Those were that was basically what every fan saw. Anything else in the fight, forget it. Forget about it. Like I'll admit myself, I'm in the same boat, right? As soon as that happened, I was like, Diaz, go, go, come on, go. I mean, bro, you see somebody get battered for 24 minutes, and then all of a sudden, boom, they rock a guy. From the jaws of defeat, they all come back and claim victory. That is the best underdog story you can ever find. It is. I don't think you can find a better underdog story than I mean, other than the life of Francis Ngannou, there is no bigger underdog story, man. But yeah, so Leon Edwards gets called out by George Masvidal. We all know George Masvidal is coming off a two-fight skid, right? He's probably the most polarizing. Let me not say most polarizing. He's probably the most popular guy in the welterweight division. Leon Edwards, least popular guy in the welterweight division. Why? Leon Edwards is treating this like a sport, right? He's treating his time in the UFC like it's a sport, like there's a league and all of that. There are no leagues. There's no. This is not a. It's not a sport. Okay, MMA is the sport, but the promotion you work for, that's the business, and nobody does business better than the UFC. The UFC really knows how to. Wow, I can't even say it. I can't even say it, man. That's how good the UFC is. So that being said, Leon Edwards gets called out by Masvidal. What does Leon Edwards do? Instead of taking the fight, you know, he could beat Masvidal. Masvidal could beat him. I mean, either way, the winner of this fight gets a title shot. And if the winner of the fight gets a title shot, I mean, why wouldn't you take that fight? You let's let me also say this, right? Masvidal is such a big name that if Leon Edwards took the Masvidal fight before the title fight, he would actually make he would probably make more money than he would make from the title fight. Probably more money than if he had won the title. Because let's be honest, Kamaru Usman, I don't think it's a big draw. I'm a big fan of Kamaru Usman. I'm a big Kamaru Usman fan. But if we're being honest, Kamaru Usman is not a big draw. Yeah, he's got fight game, but saying that he's a big draw, I wouldn't say that. I mean, I'd have to see the numbers. I don't know what his numbers really look like. So let's just speculate and say he's not really a big draw. Now, who's a bigger draw between Masvidal and Usman? Let me say this: that first Usman Masvidal fight, where they drew about 1.3 million, most of that, I guarantee, I can 100% guarantee you that most of those people were there because Masvidal was in that fight. Right? There was a great storyline behind that fight. These guys probably don't like each other much. Masvidal took the fight on 6 days' notice. 6 days. 6 days. Right? You'll never be able to convince me that Masvidal actually took that fight on 6 days' notice. That being anyway, so what does Leon Edwards do in his reply to George Masvidal calling him out? Basically, giving him a gift, gifting him the fight, right? This is Leon Edwards' tweet. My next fight will be for a world title. I don't want to hear nothing about a guy coming off a two-fight skid. What? Oh, sorry, my bad. I thought I was the one who was retarded. My next fight will be for the world title. I don't want to hear nothing about a guy coming off two-fight skid and got KO in his last fight. You're missing some context there. Context there, Leon. Like, come on, bro. This is not just a guy on a two-fight skid. This is not just a guy on a two-fight skid who got knocked out in his last fight. This is the most popular guy in the division that you are the least popular fighter in. You are. I'm telling you, like, Leon Edwards is probably way down there on the totem pole of popularity in the UFC welterweight division, right? Now, somebody like that calls you out. What do? You say yes. You say yes. Don't say yes respectfully. Don't say yes respectfully. That's not going to sell a fight. I mean, y'all already got a backstory. Three-piece in the soda. Everybody knows that. Now, this is a guy who's coming off a two-fight skid. This is the most popular guy in your division coming off a two-fight skid. That two-fight skid was against the champ, right? From a bang of a year in 2019 to a title fight, 2020, to another title fight where he got knocked out, but I mean, who gets a title shot, loses, and then gets another title shot straight away while the champ is active. The champ was active. In between those two fights, Kamaru Usman was fighting. He took on Gilbert Burns in between those two fights. A guy who's probably more dangerous than George Masvidal. But the only way to find out is if those two fight. But from speculation, I would say Gilbert Burns is the more dangerous fighter. Now, okay, yeah. You know what? The Leon Edwards thing aside, I've given up on Leon Edwards. He has no fight game whatsoever. Cool. Now, this is what I really want to talk about. Nick Diaz could be going from a long ass layoff to a title fight. I'm telling you, if he can beat Robbie Lawler in convincing fashion, I don't care what anybody says. I don't care if the critics say no, he's got to fight a few more guys. I don't care if the fighters say no, he's not entitled to a title shot. Hey, listen, you guys are also not entitled to a title shot. Doesn't matter where you're ranked. You're not entitled to a title shot. You got to earn your title shot. You got to make sure that you are interesting enough to be in that title shot. And who is more interesting than Nick Diaz right now in that entire 170 division? Nobody. Absolutely nobody. The only person that comes close, okay, the only two people that come close, Masvidal, Nate Diaz. Other than that, outside of those two, I mean, everybody's chasing Usman, man. Everybody's chasing Usman. I mean, in his interview with Brett Okamoto, yeah, yeah, my bad. So, in his interview with Brett Okamoto, Nick Diaz actually said he should not be fighting Robbie Lawler. He already beat Robbie Lawler, he already knocked him out. He should be fighting for the title. Mm, Nick. I love you. I got love for you, man. But I'm a big fan, but that was 17 years ago. This rematch is 17 years in the making. Where have you ever seen a rematch that is 17 years in the making that has this much, this much, that has drawn this much interest from the fans? That just shows you the star power of Nick Diaz. It shows you the star power of the Diaz brothers. If they put the Diaz brothers on the card, it will make a difference to the pay per view. It will make a difference to how many people watch it. There will be significantly more people who will watch it. Right, the gate will be sold out a lot quicker than usual. I don't know if Nick Diaz is gonna get pay per view points from from this card. I doubt it. I really doubt it. But I really think he's gonna get a lot of money. I mean, if the UFC does right by him, he could really stand to make a lot of money from this fight. I mean, he's coming up against Robbie Lawler, a guy who's a former UFC champion. Guy can go 5 rounds like nobody like it's nobody's business, right? This dude is tough, right? Robbie Lawler is basically the old school Justin Gaethje. They are the exact same guy. D1 wrestlers, D1 wrestlers, high school and varsity, right? But what do they do? Have you ever seen Justin Gaethje shoot for a takedown? No. Have you ever seen Robbie Lawler shoot for a takedown? No. Same guy. Same guy. What do? They go in there, they have bangers. They will fight you and they will fight you till you break. They will keep hitting you till you break. And trust me, you will break when they fight. Right? I mean, Nick Diaz is not a power punching guy. He can knock you out. He can really knock you out. He's more of a death by a thousand cuts kind of guy. But Robbie Lawler is a guy who you need at least 10,000 cuts to kill him. But then again, his chin is kind of gone. Nick Diaz, he's had a long layoff, out of competition, the whole inactivity argument and all of that. But there's also the rumor that he got knocked out in training. That that is what really got to me. That was what really fucked with me. Because before I heard that, I was picking Nick Diaz all the way. I didn't give a shit what anybody said. I was picking Nick Diaz all the way. But as soon as I heard that rumor, as soon as I saw that Josh Thompson video, and when he apologized for it, he apologized, but he didn't go back on his word. So my thing is, I'm thinking, yo, Nick Diaz got dropped in sparring, so that chin, man, that granite chin, that classic Diaz granite chin, it could be vulnerable come fight night. So you know what? I'm not gonna make my predictions now. If you want my prediction, tune into the podcast. Recording tomorrow. Yeah, that's basic. No. Hang on. There is one more thing I wanted to talk about. Sean O'Malley and Sean Strickland. You don't know what I'm talking about. The previous weekend we had, not this last weekend, the weekend before. We had Evander Holyfield, 58 years old, fighting TRT Vitor Belfort. What the fuck? Other than that, we also had we also had a transgender female who is a biological male, who's a transgender female but biological male, fighting a biological female. Now, if you haven't seen the fight, please go watch the fight. Celine Provost versus Alana Mclaghlin. I keep I keep trying to get to a name, man, but fuck. Anyway, so these two, they called her out, and they didn't pull back any punches, especially Sean Strickland, man. It's like, get out of the sport, you pussy. You are a coward. And honestly, I feel the same way. I feel the same way. Alana McLaughlin, you're a coward. You can't fight. You can't fight for shit. You really fucking suck. I mean, you got no technique. You got the worst double leg I've ever seen. You can't even throw a straight right hand. But the only reason Alana McLaughlin won that fight is because she had the fucking strength of a man. She had the durability of a man. She had the chin of a man. She had the bone density of a man. But she went in there and fought a woman, a biological woman, born a woman. How is that fair? Please tell me, how is that fair? Don't come at me with a whole, yeah, you gotta take what, hormone suppression, what for a year, whatever. That is bullshit. Okay, that argument is complete bullshit. If you look at the facts, it's complete bullshit. Like, people can say what they want. Like, they guys, we can't keep letting this happen. It already happened once with Fallon Fox. Fallon Fox won her fights. Fallon Fox is a biological male who was fighting biological females, but she was transgender. She transitioned over, like, I don't whatever. So, that being said, Alana McLaughlin is the second coming. Basically the second coming of what, fuck, I just said the name, now I'm forgetting it. Fallon Fox. Second coming of Fallon Fox. Now, if you go back and watch the fight, you will see that Alana McLaughlin's opponent can fight. Her opponent was 0-0. Alana McLaughlin was 0-0. That was basically her MMA debut. But reason why I say Alana McLaughlin sucks, if you watch the fight, she actually fucking sucks. She actually sucks. Like, she can't fight for shit. The only reason why she won that fight is because she's basically got the attributes of a man without the genitalia. That's all it is. That's what a transgender fighter is. That's what a transgender female fighter is. It's the attributes of a man with the genitalia of a female. That is not fair, guys. There is no way that is fair. There is no way that is not cowardice. There is no way that you can't call that brave. You can't call that badass. I mean, I would say everybody who steps into an octagon or ring, whatever combat sport you do, I'll call you a badass. But if you do it in that fashion, nah, sorry. For me, you're a pussy. You're a coward. You don't even deserve. You don't deserve accolades. You don't deserve praise. You don't deserve whatever. And the whole the audacity of this person to wear an end transgen what was it trans genocide, end trans genocide. What the fuck is trans genocide? Who is going out and gathering trans people, gathering an entire group of trans people and then just spraying them with a machine gun? Do you know what fucking genocide is? This right here, that's not genocide. Genocide is the killing of many people. That is genocide. The killing of many people, a group of people. Not a small group of people, a large group of people. I don't remember a large group of transgenders being killed. I don't remember transgender genocide anywhere. And trust me, you will never find it. Why? Because nobody gives a shit what gender you are. If you're transgender, if you are cucumber gender, if you are apple gender, I don't give a fuck. Even if you are this laptop gender, I don't give a shit. You wanna identify as a beard, identify as a beard. I couldn't care less. But if you're gonna fight females, if you are born a man and you're gonna fight females, that's all I gotta say.